Let's do this. So it's Friday, my favorite day of the week. No more school, no more work. Good day to see friends. We don't have to worry about anything serious except, of course, the stupid pandemic. Bad stuff, but well, it is what it is. But I was also thinking it's Friday and this could be a good day to worry about Akai's future updates. I was just thinking about it yesterday in my sleep. And yeah, today's the day. Now, I'm not talking about a new MPC. I don't want a new MPC. I really like the one I have. It's amazing. I don't think that's what we need right now. What we need is more tools for the current generation of MPCs. And specifically, or not specifically, but especially standalone. I love standalone mode right now. So I really wish I had more tools. So yeah, I think I want to focus on that. So let's do this. These are my top MPC updates slash upgrades slash requests for the current generation of MPCs to Akai. Let's do this. So number one, it's a button or a way to move plugins or effects from one's insert to another, either in controller mode or standalone mode. I really think that this is important because the order of the effects, it's a major factor for the type of result you're gonna get. It always happens to me that I'm just planning things and I start adding effects, but I don't really have a target in mind. By the time I finish the sound design stage and I come up with a good idea or something I like, I regret placing that one effect in the very first insert, top insert, or maybe the bottom. Maybe I wanted to do things differently. And of course, I know we can save the preset and then load it again, but that kills the workflow. That's not good. Like, the only thing you want to do is drag it down. Now, what they could do is add a button, or obviously we'll drag and drop, but even a button would be enough. Okay, number two, meters and an overall overhaul of Akai Compressors presentation, standalone mode and controller mode. I just want to be able to see the threshold, how much compression I'm applying. Basically, they can just copy whatever they did on the Air plugins or the Akai compressor plugins. I really think Akai compressors are great, but I don't trust what I'm doing when I'm not able to see how much compression I'm applying, like what's the in and out. So Air did a great job. It looks amazing. Like it's really easy to use. I'm talking about the Air compressor. Why don't just copy exactly the same presentation for Akai compressors? I think that would improve the MPC so much. We would have so many more options for compression and sound overall. Number three would be, and this one is very easy, more standalone plugins. Standalone plugins are great. I've had so much fun playing with the bass, the synth, electric piano, the drum synth. I haven't tried as much because I have so many drum samples, but I'm sure I'm gonna go in there and discover things. It's just amazing, the possibilities of just not having to rely on samples and building your sound from scratch using frequencies and all these parameters that plugins provide. And if Akai were to charge for that update for standalone plugins, I feel that many of us would pay for it. That's not a problem. Just bring the plugins, help us find, creative tools in standalone mode, and of course make it reasonable priced. But that's the only thing we're asking for. I think that all of us want that. Okay, now check this out. I'm an Ableton Live user. When I alternate, I'm going between MPC and Ableton constantly, and sometimes I work with both. I wish Akai could implement freezing tracks in the MPC the same way Ableton does. So basically, with one press of a button, we would just transform this plugin into a drum track type of program, and the samples would be there chopped exactly as we play them in the plugin, if that makes any sense. And with this function, we could also select, have different alternatives or options, like, for example, I want to make it in quarter notes, I want to make it in eighth notes, I want just a random threshold sample, I want to select a specific number of slices, boom, done, and then transform. I know we can just bounce the sample and then load the sample, or we'll slice that sample and load it in the same track. But for me, that kills the workflow. It's too long of a process. And you probably have an idea in mind, but you want to make sure, right now, I just want to clean my program. I want to clean it fast. I want to get rid of the plugin so I can take this to standalone mode. It's not fast enough. I think transforming that performance into some sort of 8 slices. Give me 8 slices for this 8-bar sequence, and boom, done. If you guys don't know what I mean, just look for freezing tracks in Ableton or on Ableton Live. It saves CPU power, and I think in the MPC context, it could also save us time, and it would also help us bring all this great stuff that we have in controller mode to standalone mode. Well, we don't have the plugins there, right? So, that would be great. Okay, and my fifth and last request will be, please fix X-Fade. I just feel that X-Fade is not very intuitive. There's a number, there's a value that we have to assign, and we have to do that from the edit sample section on the MPC, the menu there that we use for slicing and stuff. So I don't think that's very intuitive or easy to understand, and I feel like we're lacking visuals. I'm gonna compare this to Ableton Live again. So in Ableton Live, you just have an area that's actually the loop area. We also have it in MPC, but in Ableton Live, you can just control this area from the program edit section, which is something that also annoyed me. You only have the chance to edit this in the sample edit window section, but then you move to program edit and you cannot change the loop. Or you can change the loop area, but you cannot change this X-Fade value. That's what helps us get rid of artifacts when we want to loop chords in order to create synths. It just puts me off. It's not really creative. You cannot just decide what section of what loop you want if you don't test it, but the way you test it is just, it should be more intuitive, like in Ableton Live, where you just load that sample directly to in the program, and then there in program edit window, there you have all the options to shorten the loop, and then assign a crossfade, but not just the value. You need to see it. You need to see how much you're crossfading. I feel like they can make it happen. Hopefully it's not a crazy difficult upgrade for Akai, based on whatever system they're using. Yes, those are my top requests to Akai for the MPC in July 2021. Let me know what you think. Maybe there's something that I'm missing, forgetting, but right now I think those are my top 5 priorities. So I'm wishing you a nice weekend, all the best. We stay in touch. amigo George CBS signing off.